Becoming the architect of your destiny, build the life you were meant to live. Drifting is death in slow motion, not of the body, but of your destiny. Think about it for a moment. Look around you, or perhaps even look inwards. How many people do you know, maybe even yourself at times, feel like they're just floating? Carried along by the currents of life, reacting to what happens instead of actively steering their own ship. Notifications ping, demanding attention. To-do lists gather dust. Dreams whisper faintly in the background, overshadowed by the noise of the everyday. You see others achieving, building, living with a vibrant energy, and a nagging question starts to form. Why not me? What's the secret they know that I don't? The truth is, for many, that potential, that spark of what could be, slowly fades. It gets buried under layers of procrastination, fear of failure, and the comfortable numbness of routine. We watch highlight reels of other people's victories, scrolling endlessly, while our own capacity for greatness lies dormant, like a seed that never gets planted. It's not a sudden, dramatic end, but a gradual erosion of possibility, a quiet resignation to a life half-lived. But here's the electric jolt, the wake-up call. What if you decided, right here, right now, that enough is enough? What if you chose to seize the reins, to stop being a passive observer and become the active creator? What if you consciously decided to become the architect of your own destiny, brick by painstaking brick? This isn't some fluffy motivational speech designed to give you a temporary high. This is a declaration of war. Not against anyone else, but against the limitations you've allowed to take root in your own mind. The battlefield isn't out there, it's the space between your ears. It's the constant internal dialogue, the doubts, the excuses, the stories we tell ourselves that keep us tethered to mediocrity. So, let me ask you something deeply personal, something that demands honest reflection. Are you truly living by your own deliberate design, consciously shaping your days and your future? Or are you, perhaps unknowingly, drifting through life by default, letting circumstances and the whims of others dictate your path? That uncomfortable feeling you might have right now? That's the starting point. That's the recognition that something needs to change. And that change, my friend, begins with you. Section 1. The War Within. Overcoming the drifting mindset. There's a silent adversary lurking within each and every one of us. It's not a tangible enemy you can fight with your hands, but it's arguably the most formidable opponent you'll ever face. It's the voice of doubt, the whisper of procrastination, the seductive lullaby of maybe later. This is the drifting voice, and it thrives in the fertile ground of indecision, the shadowy corners of fear, and the stagnant waters of passivity. It's the internal saboteur that convinces you that you're not ready, that the timing isn't right, that it's safer to stay within the familiar confines of your comfort zone, even if that zone is slowly suffocating your potential. Think about those moments when a brilliant idea sparks in your mind, a vision of something greater you could achieve. What happens next? Often, that drifting voice pipes up. That sounds hard. What if you fail? You don't have the time. It floods your mind with reasons not to act, effectively paralyzing you before you even take the first step. It feeds on your insecurities, amplifying your past mistakes and projecting them onto your future possibilities. It whispers that it's better to wait for the perfect moment, conveniently ignoring the fact that the perfect moment rarely arrives on its own. It must be created. The insidious nature of this drifting state is that it often feels comfortable, even safe. Like a slow leak in a tire, you don't always notice the gradual deflation until you're completely flat. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and suddenly you look back and wonder where the time went, what you actually accomplished, and why those dreams still feel so distant. You see others pushing their boundaries, taking risks, and reaping the rewards, and a sense of frustration, perhaps even resentment, starts to simmer beneath the surface. But the drifting voice is quick to offer solace. They're different, they're luckier. You're just not that kind of person. These are the lies it peddles, the chains it uses to keep you bound to a life of unrealized potential. But here's the crucial insight. This drifting state is not an inherent flaw. It's a pattern, a habit of thought and inaction that has been allowed to take hold. And like any habit, it can be broken. The first step, the most critical act of defiance against the drifting voice, is to recognize it for what it is, an enemy within. Become acutely aware of its whispers, its excuses, its paralyzing pronouncements. Start to identify the situations and the triggers that cause it to become louder. Once you can recognize the enemy, you can begin to interrupt its attacks. This isn't about positive thinking your way to success. It's about conscious, deliberate declarations that counter the negativity. When that voice whispers, "You can't do that," you actively and forcefully declare, "I am capable, I am resourceful, I will find a way." When it urges you to procrastinate with just a few more minutes of scrolling, you stand up and declare, "I am the master of my time. I choose action over distraction." When it tries to convince you that you're defined by your past failures, you look in the mirror and declare, "I am not my past. I am the architect of my future. I build what I believe." This is the beginning of your mental reprogramming. You're not inherently weak or lazy. You're simply untrained in the art of mental resilience. Think of your mind like a muscle. The drifting voice has been exercising its negative influence for far too long, making it strong. But now you're starting your own training regimen, consciously choosing thoughts and declarations that build strength, clarity, and determination. It won't be easy at first. The drifting voice will fight back, its whispers becoming louder and more insistent. But with consistent effort, with unwavering awareness and deliberate counteraction, you will begin to weaken its grip. You will start to reclaim the territory of your own mind. So take a moment right now and ask yourself, what lie has your drifting voice convinced you to believe about yourself? What limiting belief has it used to keep you stuck in a cycle of inaction? Identifying that lie is the first powerful step towards silencing it and taking the first conscious stride towards becoming the architect of your own destiny. Section 2. Identity is destiny. Building the man who attracts success. We often fall into the trap of chasing external validation, constantly striving for achievements and possessions, believing that these things will somehow make us successful or worthy. We set goals, we hustle, we try harder, but sometimes, despite our best efforts, the results remain elusive. Why? Because true and lasting success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the kind of person who naturally draws it into their life. Your identity, the core beliefs you hold about yourself, acts like a powerful magnet, pulling opportunities and results towards you. Want more? Then you must fundamentally be more. Think of it like this. If you want to attract a certain kind of relationship, you need to embody the qualities you seek in a partner. If you want to build a thriving business, you need to cultivate the mindset and skills of a successful entrepreneur. The same principle applies to all areas of life. You don't just stumble upon success, you become the person who is capable of creating and sustaining it. This isn't about faking it until you make it in a superficial way. It's about a deep, internal transformation, a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and what you believe you are capable of. It's about shedding the old skin of who you were and consciously growing into the person you aspire to be. You don't just try harder, you become different. One of the most powerful tools in this identity transformation is the conscious use of affirmations. But these aren't just empty words you parrot in the mirror. These are deliberate declarations of the identity you are actively building. Instead of saying, "I hope to be successful someday," you declare, with conviction, "I am a successful individual. I create value. I achieve my goals." Instead of thinking, "I wish I were more disciplined," you affirm, "I am a disciplined individual. I follow through on my commitments. I honor my word." The key is to speak these affirmations not just when you feel motivated, but especially when resistance shows up. When the urge to procrastinate is strong, that's the moment to declare, "I am the man who takes action. I do what needs to be done, even when it's difficult." When self-doubt creeps in, that's the time to affirm, "I am confident in my abilities. I trust my judgment. I am capable of overcoming any obstacle." Imagine tearing pages out of an old journal, pages filled with self-limiting beliefs, past failures, and negative self-talk. And then, imagine replacing those pages with new ones, filled with powerful affirmations that reflect the identity you are actively cultivating. You are rewriting the story you tell yourself about who you are and what you are capable of. This process requires consistency and conviction. You need to speak who you are becoming until that voice is louder, more persistent, and more deeply ingrained than the voice of who you were. Your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between what is real and what is consistently imagined and felt. By repeatedly affirming your desired identity with emotion and belief, you begin to program your subconscious to align with that vision. Your actions will start to follow your beliefs, and the world around you will begin to reflect the inner transformation you are undergoing. So ask yourself, what would happen if your belief in your future self, in the person you are becoming, became so loud, so unwavering, that it completely drowned out the memory of your past limitations? What kind of opportunities would you attract? What kind of results would you begin to see? Your identity is not a fixed entity. It's a dynamic and malleable force that you have the power to shape. Choose wisely who you are becoming, for that identity will ultimately determine your destiny. Section 3. Definite purpose and focused execution. You are not a random occurrence, a mere product of chance. You are a direct result of what you consistently focus on, the energy you direct, and the actions you take day in and day out. The individual without a clear aim, without a definite purpose guiding their steps, is like a leaf caught in the wind, tossed and turned by external forces, never truly charting their own course. To become the architect of your destiny, you must first define that destiny with unwavering clarity. This begins with crafting what Napoleon Hill famously called a definite chief aim. This isn't just a vague wish or a fleeting desire. It's a clearly defined goal, written down with precision, accompanied by a compelling reason why you want to achieve it. The why is crucial. It's the emotional fuel that will drive you forward when the inevitable challenges and setbacks arise. It's the anchor that will keep you grounded when the winds of doubt try to pull you off course. Once you have your definite chief aim, the next critical step is focused execution. In a world saturated with distractions, where our attention is constantly being pulled in a million different directions, the ability to laser focus on your most important tasks is a superpower. Every notification, every social media scroll, every unnecessary meeting is a drain on your precious time and energy, diverting you from the activities that will actually move you closer to your goals. Think of your time as a sacred resource, a non-renewable energy source that must be invested wisely. Just as an architect meticulously plans every detail of a building, you must consciously design your days. This involves identifying your most important tasks, the 20% of activities that will yield 80% of your results, and scheduling dedicated, uninterrupted blocks of time to work on them. These are your sacred blocks, time that is fiercely protected from distractions and low-priority tasks. This might involve eliminating notifications, creating a dedicated workspace, or even learning to say no to commitments that don't align with your definite chief aim. It's about consciously choosing where you direct your mental energy and ensuring that it's primarily focused on the activities that will build the life you envision. Consider creating a life vision, a detailed blueprint of the future you are actively constructing. What does it look like? How do you feel? What are you accomplishing? Regularly reviewing this vision reinforces your purpose and keeps you motivated. Then, break down that grand vision into smaller, manageable goals and schedule specific actions in your calendar to work towards those goals. Treat these scheduled actions with the same level of importance as you would a critical business meeting. The man who doesn't design his days will inevitably be destroyed by them, not in a dramatic sense, but in the slow, insidious way that unfulfilled potential erodes self-esteem and breeds regret. When you allow your days to be dictated by external demands and reactive responses, you relinquish control over your own destiny. You become a passenger in your own life, rather than the driver. But when you take conscious ownership of your time and energy, when you align your daily actions with your overarching purpose, everything changes. You move from feeling overwhelmed and scattered to feeling focused and empowered. You start to see tangible progress, which fuels your motivation and reinforces your belief in your ability to create the life you desire. So take a moment to reflect. Have you clearly defined your definite chief aim, that burning desire that propels you forward? And more importantly, Have you claimed your days, consciously scheduling and protecting the time dedicated to its realization? Or are your days claiming you, pulling you in 1,000 different directions, leaving you feeling drained and unfulfilled? The power to shift from being a leaf in the wind to a deliberate architect lies in your ability to define your purpose and execute with unwavering focus. Section 4. Character Code: Installing Daily Discipline. Transformation isn't a singular event, a sudden epiphany that magically alters your life. It's the cumulative effect of consistent daily decisions, the unwavering commitment to small, seemingly insignificant actions that over time compound into profound and lasting change. Your daily rituals, the habits you consistently practice, are the very building blocks of your results. Discipline, often perceived as a restrictive punishment, is actually the bridge that connects who you are today with the powerful, capable individual you have the potential to become. Think of your character as a code, a set of principles and practices that dictate your behavior. This code isn't something you're born with, it's something you actively install through conscious effort and consistent repetition. Just like a programmer writes lines of code to create a functioning software, you must consciously program your daily routines to build the character traits that will lead to your desired outcomes. Consider the power of a consistent morning routine. For many high achievers, the morning isn't a frantic rush to catch up with the world. It's a sacred time to set the tone for the day, to cultivate mental clarity, and to prime themselves for success. This might involve practices like waking up early, engaging in physical exercise, spending time in quiet reflection or meditation, journaling, or reading something that nourishes the mind. Your morning routine is, in essence, a declaration of war against the forces of procrastination and reactivity. It's a conscious choice to take control of your day before the world has a chance to impose its demands upon you. Throughout the day, discipline manifests in your ability to stay focused on your priorities, to resist distractions, and to follow through on your commitments, even when you don't feel like it. It's about choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. It's about doing the work that needs to be done, regardless of your mood or motivation levels. To help you install this character code, consider these 7 pillars of self-mastery. 1. Purpose. Everything starts with a clear aim. Revisit your definite chief aim daily. Let it guide your decisions and fuel your actions. 2. Focus. Dominate distractions. Consciously choose where you direct your attention. Minimize the noise and prioritize what truly matters. 3. Action. Default to movement. When faced with a decision, err on the side of taking action, even if it's imperfect. Momentum builds success. 4. Energy. Train your body and fuel your mind. Physical and mental well-being are foundational to sustained discipline. Prioritize exercise, healthy eating, and continuous learning. 5. Integrity. Keep promises to yourself. This is crucial for building self-trust. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Your word to yourself is just as important as your word to others. 6. Discipline. Act despite your feelings. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is the unwavering commitment to your goals, regardless of your emotional state. 7. Faith. Repeatedly affirm your vision until belief becomes your dominant identity. Visualize your success, speak it into existence, and act as if it's already a reality. Think of your morning routine as your battle plan. Your daily schedule is your strategic deployment. Every conscious choice you make throughout the day, to focus, to act, to persevere, is a tactical maneuver in the ongoing war against your former self. Your rituals write your results. Show me your daily habits, and I'll show you your trajectory. Are you consistently engaging in activities that are building the character and skills necessary to achieve your goals? Or are you allowing yourself to be swept away by the currents of comfort and convenience? The gap between who you are and who you could be is bridged by the consistent application of discipline. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up day after day and making conscious choices that align with your desired future. So ask yourself, what would your life look like 1 year from now, 5 years from now, if your level of discipline finally matched the magnitude of your dreams? What seemingly small but consistent actions could you start implementing today that would begin to bridge that gap? Installing your character code, one disciplined decision at a time, is the key to unlocking your full potential and becoming the architect of the life you were truly meant to live. Section 5. The power of faith and subconscious programming. Beyond the tangible actions and disciplined routines, there lies a powerful force that often goes underestimated: the unwavering power of faith and the profound influence of your subconscious mind. Faith, in this context, isn't about blind religious belief, but rather an unshakable conviction in the reality of your vision, even before it manifests in the physical world. It's about knowing, deep down, that what you are striving for is not just possible, but inevitable. Your subconscious mind is like fertile ground. It doesn't discern between what is real and what is vividly and repeatedly imagined with strong emotion. It simply accepts the seeds you plant and works tirelessly to bring them to fruition. If you consistently plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, that's what will grow in your reality. But if you consciously cultivate seeds of faith, belief, and unwavering expectation, your subconscious will become your most powerful ally in achieving your goals. Think about the difference between begging and declaring. When you approach your goals with a sense of desperation or uncertainty, it's like begging the universe for what you desire. But when you operate from a place of unwavering faith, you are not begging. You are declaring your intention, claiming your rightful place in the realization of your vision. One of the most effective ways to program your subconscious mind is through the consistent and intentional use of autosuggestion. This involves repeatedly speaking your goals and affirmations to yourself with feeling and conviction. It's not enough to just mouth the words. You need to engage your emotions, to feel the reality of your desired outcome as if it has already happened. Imagine yourself already living the life you are striving to create. What does it feel like? What are you experiencing? What are you grateful for? Immerse yourself in those feelings as you repeat your affirmations. Speak them with certainty, with passion, with the unwavering belief that they are already becoming your reality. This practice can be done throughout the day, but it's particularly powerful during the liminal states, those brief periods between waking and sleeping when your conscious mind is less active and your subconscious is more receptive. Make it a daily ritual to speak your goals and affirmations with intense feeling before you go to sleep and immediately upon waking. Visualize your goals in vivid detail. Create a mental movie of your future success, seeing yourself achieving your objectives, experiencing the positive outcomes, and feeling the emotions associated with that reality. The more real and tangible you can make this mental movie, the more effectively you will program your subconscious mind to align with that vision. Think of your subconscious as your dedicated construction crew. It's working tirelessly behind the scenes to build the reality that aligns with the blueprints you provide through your thoughts, emotions, and repeated affirmations. But this crew needs clear instructions. If you're constantly sending mixed signals, 1 minute focusing on your fears and doubts, the next fleetingly thinking about your goals, the construction will be chaotic and ineffective. But when you consistently feed your subconscious with a clear, compelling vision, reinforced by unwavering faith and strong emotion, it will begin to work with laser-like focus to bring that vision into your physical reality. Opportunities will start to appear, synchronicities will occur, and you'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards actions and decisions that support your goals. So ask yourself, what story are you consistently feeding your subconscious mind? Is it a narrative of fear, limitation, and doubt? Or is it a compelling vision of your destiny, filled with unwavering belief and confident expectation? Remember, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is repeatedly imagined and felt. Choose wisely the seeds you plant, for they will inevitably shape the garden of your life. Speak it, feel it, become it. Your subconscious is your most powerful construction crew. Give it clear and compelling instructions. Section 6. Rejecting external validation and cultivating high-standard circles. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from external sources. The fleeting likes on social media, the approval of others, the constant need for external reassurance. But true and lasting value is built not in the fleeting applause of the crowd, but in the quiet solitude of focused execution and the unwavering adherence to your own internal standards. You don't need a chorus of approval to validate your worth or the validity of your dreams. The pursuit of external validation is a dangerous and ultimately unfulfilling path. It puts your sense of self-worth in the hands of others, making you vulnerable to their opinions and judgments, which are often based on their own limited perspectives and insecurities. True confidence and self-esteem come from within, from knowing your own values, aligning your actions with those values, and trusting your own judgment. This doesn't mean you should become completely isolated or indifferent to all feedback. Constructive criticism from trusted sources can be invaluable for growth, but it does mean that you need to cultivate a strong internal compass, a clear sense of your own standards, and a deep-seated belief in your own capabilities that isn't dependent on external approval. Furthermore, the company you keep has a profound impact on your mindset, your beliefs, and ultimately, your destiny. Your circle is your mirror. If you surround yourself with people who are negative, unmotivated, or who constantly doubt your ambitions, their energy will inevitably pull you down. Their limiting beliefs will become your own, and their lack of vision will stifle your own potential. Conversely, when you surround yourself with individuals who are driven, positive, and who hold you to a higher standard, their energy will lift you up. Their belief in your potential will inspire you to push beyond your comfort zone, and their own achievements will serve as a powerful source of motivation. This might mean making some difficult decisions about the relationships in your life. Not everyone deserves your time and energy. You need to guard these precious resources fiercely and invest them in relationships that fuel your fire, that challenge you to grow, and that support your vision. It's not about being unkind or dismissive, but about consciously choosing to spend your time with people who align with the person you are striving to become. Consider actively cultivating relationships with sharpeners, individuals who are further along the path you aspire to travel, who possess the qualities you admire, and who are willing to offer guidance and support. Joining mastermind groups, attending industry events, and seeking out mentors can provide invaluable opportunities to connect with these kinds of individuals. The shift in mindset is profound, from the man or woman who constantly sought external approval to the individual who earns respect through their actions, their integrity, and their unwavering commitment to their own standards. You move from being driven by the need for validation to being propelled by your own internal compass and the desire to live a life of purpose and impact. So take a hard look at your current relationships. Are they fueling your fire and inspiring you to grow, or are they subtly suffocating your ambitions and reinforcing limiting beliefs? Are you spending your time seeking the fleeting approval of those who don't truly understand your vision? Or are you investing in relationships with individuals who challenge you, support you, and hold you to a higher standard? Remember, your circle is your mirror. Choose wisely who you allow into your inner sanctum, for they will play a significant role in shaping the architect of your destiny. Section 7. Transformation. Climax. The vow and the burning. Your journey of transformation isn't truly complete until you consciously and symbolically sever ties with the person you no longer wish to be. It requires a decisive act, a powerful declaration that marks the end of the old and the beginning of the new. This is where the vow and the burning come into play. Take some time for introspection. Reflect on the fears that have held you back, the lies you've told yourself, the old habits that have kept you drifting. Write them down on a piece of paper. Every doubt, every limitation, every excuse that has sabotaged your progress. This act of physically externalizing these negative forces gives them less power over you. Then, in a safe and controlled environment, burn that paper. As the flames consume the ink, visualize those fears and limitations being destroyed, their hold on you dissolving into ash. This symbolic act is a powerful release, a physical manifestation of your commitment to letting go of the past and embracing the future. Following this cleansing ritual, take another piece of paper and write down your vows, the unwavering commitments you are making to yourself, the principles that will guide your actions moving forward. These are your declarations of the new identity you are actively building. They might include commitments to discipline, to focused action, to unwavering belief in yourself, to the pursuit of your definite chief aim. Speak these vows out loud with conviction and intention. Read them daily, especially when you feel your resolve wavering. These vows are the pillars upon which you will build your new reality. They are the promises you make to yourself, the architect of your own destiny. This act of burning the old and declaring the new is a powerful way to anchor your transformation in your subconscious mind. It creates a clear demarcation line between the person who drifted and the person who consciously chooses to build. It's a visceral reminder of your commitment to change. Think of it as burying the old version of yourself, the one who lived by fear, who delayed their dreams, who doubted their potential. And from those ashes, you rise as the architect of your destiny, empowered by clarity, driven by purpose, and fueled by an unwavering belief in your ability to create the life you were meant to live. This isn't just about setting goals. It's about a fundamental shift in your identity, a deep-seated commitment to living life on your own terms. It's about taking radical responsibility for your thoughts, your actions, and your results. So ask yourself, what part of your old self must die so that the real you, the architect of your destiny, can be born? What fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs are you ready to consign to the flames? And what powerful vows will you make to yourself, the unwavering commitments that will guide you as you build the life you envision? Today is the day to draw a line in the sand, to burn the past, and to declare the future you are actively creating. Section 8. Conclusion. We've journeyed through the landscape of the drifting mind, explored the power of identity, the necessity of purpose and focus, the foundational importance of discipline, the transformative potential of faith, the liberation of rejecting external validation, and the symbolic power of letting go of the past. And what emerges from this exploration is a clear and undeniable truth. You are not a passive recipient of life's circumstances. You possess the inherent power to be its active creator. Drifting, as we've seen, is not merely a state of inaction. It's a slow erosion of your potential, a quiet surrender to a life less than you are capable of living. But the antidote to drifting is conscious design, the deliberate act of taking control of your thoughts, your actions, and your destiny. Your identity is not a fixed entity, but a dynamic force that you have the power to shape. By consciously cultivating the qualities of the person you aspire to be, you don't just chase success, you attract it. Your internal beliefs act as a powerful magnet, drawing opportunities and results that align with who you are becoming. A life without a definite purpose is a life adrift at sea. Clarity of aim, coupled with focused execution, is the compass and the sails that will guide you towards your desired destination. By consciously designing your days and aligning your actions with your overarching purpose, you move from being a reactor to a creator. Discipline is not a punishment, but the very scaffolding upon which your dreams are built. It's the daily commitment to small, consistent actions that compound over time, bridging the gap between who you are and who you could be. Your rituals write your results. Faith, in its purest form, is the unwavering belief in the reality of your vision, even before it manifests physically. By consciously programming your subconscious mind with affirmations, visualizations, and a deep sense of expectation, you harness its immense power to align your reality with your desires. True value is built from within, not bestowed from without. Rejecting the need for constant external validation and cultivating relationships with individuals who challenge and support your growth are essential steps in becoming the architect of your own destiny. And finally, the act of consciously letting go of the past, of burning the fears and limitations that have held you back, and declaring your unwavering commitment to your future through powerful vows, seals your transformation and propels you forward with renewed purpose and conviction. The journey to becoming the architect of your destiny is not always easy. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But remember this: you are not alone in this endeavor. The very fact that you've watched this far indicates a deep yearning for something more, a recognition that you are capable of living a life of purpose, power, and unshakable identity. Today, you reclaim your power. You step out of the shadows of procrastination and fear and into the light of conscious creation. You are no longer watching life unfold from the sidelines. You are stepping onto the field and actively designing it. The blueprint is in your hands, the tools are within you, and the potential is limitless. If something in this message resonated with you, if a spark of recognition ignited within you, if you're ready to finally stop drifting and start actively building the life you were meant to live, then it's time to declare it. It's time to make that commitment real, not just in your mind, but out in the world. Right now, in the comments below, share your vow. What is one concrete step you are committing to taking today, this week, to move from being a drifter to an architect? Speak your aim. What is the one thing you are determined to build in your life? Own your future by declaring it. And if this message woke something up inside you, if it challenged your perspective and inspired you to take control, then give this video a thumbs up. Let others know that this message resonated with you and that they too might find value in it. If you're serious about building a life of purpose, power, and unshakable identity, then subscribe to this channel. We're committed to providing you with the insights, strategies, and motivation you need to become the architect of your own destiny. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future content that will empower you on this journey. Finally, share this video with someone you know who might be drifting, someone who needs to hear this message, someone who has the potential to build an extraordinary life but hasn't yet taken the reins. You might just be the catalyst that helps them step into their power. The time for drifting is over. The time for building has begun. Declare your vow, speak your aim, own your future. The architect of your destiny is not some mythical figure. It's you. Now go out there and build. See you next time.